My name is Zaria White, and this is the Clinton Arrow Podcast.
Why did you want to be a teacher? A lot of people always wonder, why do people go into education? Why did you want to be a teacher?
Yeah, can I give you a little backstory?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So right after high school, my major was in education, which is crazy. I majored in chemistry, and so I went to Holmes Community College, major in chemistry. When I got to Mississippi College, I did maybe a year in a semester at Mississippi College, and I decided to change my major to education. For the longest, people used to ask me, like, why did you change your major? What made you want to be a teacher? And I didn't know. I didn't know. I had no idea. I just know I didn't want to do what I was doing at first. And so fast forward, I go to my first classes at Mississippi College, and one of our first classes was EDU 299.
Yeah.
And so we had to observe. We got to pick the school, the grade, and all of that thing. So I picked Lovett was my first observation, 6th grade science. And so fast forward, like the third day, she comes to me and she's like, hey, are you ready to do morning work? Like, stand up and do morning work. And so I stood up first time in front of a class, first time just doing any of those things. So I stood up and did morning work for the first time, and I absolutely loved everything about doing it. That little portion, that little moment was everything. Just seeing the kids raising their hands, being engaged, and I'm making them laugh, and we're having fun. So that changed everything that I thought of why I wanted to be a teacher. And so this girl, almost as tall as me, she comes up to me. She's like, you're going to be a fantastic teacher one day. And I just looked at her. I gave her this look like, who? Me? Mm-hmm. And she's like, yeah, you're going to be a fantastic teacher. And so from like that moment changed everything. Standing up doing morning work, standing up going over those things, and her telling me that one day I'm going to be a fantastic teacher. And so now when people ask me what made me want to be a teacher, because I'm going to be a fantastic teacher, and somebody once told me that I will be a fantastic teacher. But seriously, I love everything about teaching. Just being able to control my classroom, being able to see those students every day, making a difference in one of those students' lives that comes through my door. It's amazing, and so yeah. I love it.
It's weird, because a lot of times you'll hear a lot of stories of students that a teacher really impacted my life. A teacher really impacted my life. Yeah. I guess it happens more often than not, but we don't hear a lot about the fact that a student invested into you in just that moment and then opened up that door for you.
Right, just that small moment. And it took me probably about 15 minutes. It was only about 7-8 questions on that morning work. And for her to come up and tell me, and I'm telling you, she was almost tall as me. Yeah. And she was like, you're going to be a fantastic teacher. She just came up to me, you're going to be a fantastic teacher. And I absolutely love the fact that happened. It was like a confirmation, like I did the right thing to change my major. Yeah. And so that it opened the doors for me. And I was like, ever since that moment, I've enjoyed all of my classes at Mississippi College. All of my observations and things like that has really been so great. So that little moment changed everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Being a first-year teacher, obviously, you don't have a history at another campus or under another administration, but this is your first time. Why did you choose Clinton?
Why did I choose Clinton? The thing I like about Mississippi College is they give you the opportunity to go to all of these school districts, and you observe so many things from all of these school districts. And Clinton was one of the school districts that we observed from. And so just seeing how everyone in Clinton, they're like a family. Yeah. And I'm such a family person. And like everybody comes together. No one is working on their own thing. It's like if we all want to succeed, let's work as a team. And so they give me that team dynamic, that feeling that I'm not alone. That's one thing. From the first beginning, when I started student teaching, I felt a part of this family. They didn't treat me less than a teacher or a student or anything like that. They made me feel at home. And so, especially Eastside, I work with some amazing people here at Eastside, and so they just made it feel so great for me, and I just love Eastside.
So tell me a little bit about last year. So I got to experience you firsthand as a parent, because you came in during a time when my son's teacher was having a baby. So she was going to be out for a good long while, and so you stepped in as the long-term substitute.
Right.
So tell me, how did that little taste of being the teacher kind of influence where you are now?
Oh gosh, first of all, I love John. He was so great in my classroom. That long-term sub position taught me a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's so different when you're in the student perspective and then you transfer into a teacher. Everything becomes your responsibility, everything. And I've learned so many great things. Some of the things that I'm doing in class now, or the lessons that I'm teaching, or even just sitting in my classroom, I got from a lot of those teachers that I long-term sub. You learn so much, especially when you graduate in December of 2023. It's hard to find a job because it's the middle of the school year. So I feel every student or every person that's in college now that's student teaching and graduating in December, a long-term sub will benefit you because you learn so many great things, but you also learn things that you don't want to do in your class, things that you feel as if like it's not fair, or like I like the way, but let's change it to where everyone feels like it's fair or it's welcome for everyone. So I worked with some amazing teachers. Kim Boswell, Linda Gale Williams was my partner, Carrie Burnside. They just helped me through everything to make sure that moment and that time was amazing for me. So
having them, being now on staff with them and having them that you can lean back on, but being part of a new team, how has that dynamic worked?
I feel like it's still the same. Like they're still feeling, they call me this nickname, and like I see them down the hallway, they're always asking me, "Hey, Miss White, are you doing okay? Do you need anything? Hey, let me print this off for you since I'm going to the printer." So we still have that family dynamic. Even on this hall, oh my gosh, it's just so great. Again, I work with some amazing teachers that has supported me and given me the opportunity to find myself, but also help me with so many things, because it's a lot that goes into teaching other than standing up and teaching. So I love it. So everything about it.
Is there anything that you can kind of pinpoint from your childhood and your experience as a student that's kind of played a role into who you are as a teacher today?
Oh, most definitely. I grew up in a great family, great household, and I can sit here and like say all the great things that I did, all the great places that I went, but some of the most experiences that I have felt that has impacted me as a woman, as a mother, as a teacher, is just that loving, caring, supportive experiences that I've experienced from my family. And to be able to come in here every day and give these students the feeling that I felt, the experiences that I had, is amazing. Because a lot of kids nowadays, they don't get that opportunity to experience true love, experience someone really supporting them, someone in their corner supporting and having their back. So be able to step into these doors and give them the opportunity that someone loves me, someone support me. Because I can tell you all the experiences that I had as a child. I can't take 53 children to Disneyland or to Fun Time, but to be able to give them the experience of love, you know, because that's what we remember the most. Just seeing, like, I can remember one of my teachers coming up to me and I'm telling them, "Hey, can you come to my play today?" And seeing them in that stand in the play, and like it just makes it their whole world. Like they be more excited than seeing their parents and seeing their teacher just supporting them and being there for them. Those are the type of experiences that I want to give them. Again, I can't take everybody to Disney World. So yes, my family, I have a huge family. My mom definitely played a part of who I am today and everything. She's so loving, caring, so supportive. So I want to be able to give that to my students every single day when I walk through these doors.
So today is day 11, technically. So we're entering into our third week. All the other campuses around Central Mississippi either started late last week or they're starting today since we're recording this on Monday. So we're going into week 3. The new has kind of worn off. You've learned most everybody's names. You're learning some nuances. What is it like being Miss White once the newness is kind of worn off and now we're in it?
Oh gosh, it's crazy. It's busy, but it's so much fun. I say crazy because my first week of school, the end of that week, I ended up getting COVID. And so I did survive my first week of school, the complete week. And so last week was my complete, like I survived Monday through Friday. So it's been so crazy. Busy for sure. So many meetings, so much paperwork. It's been so busy. busy, but so much fun. I was telling my students Friday, I was like, I'm going to change my name because when I go to bed at night, the only thing I hear is Miss White, Miss White, Miss White, Miss White. And so I told them, I'm changing my name, and I'm not telling anyone my name. But it's so great. I've made so many connections already. Like my first week or 2 weeks of school, I've made so many connections with these students on a level that I'm proud of. Because as a first year teacher, it's kind of hard to get a feel of all your students, especially when you have multiple, like 43 students. So it's been great. It's been so much fun. I couldn't have survived my first couple of days, my first weeks without my amazing team, especially with my amazing partner, Megan Mose. She teaches ELA. So she's been so supportive and so helpful. So I love working with her. We laugh all the time. And that just make it so much better when you have someone on your team that takes the pressure and takes the load off you. So it's been an amazing, like, couple of weeks so far.
And she's got a really good reputation and a long history of doing great things. So it's one of the things I love most about this district that we do on purpose is feeding into new teachers with experienced teachers to not just, hey, here's how the best way to make a copy, but feeding into that confidence and building that new foundation of that new teacher so that later on, now Miss White is the one that gets the new teacher and she gets to build into them. Like I love that. So other than getting COVID right at the beginning, which I guess was a challenge in itself. What kind of other challenges have you experienced, and what kind of challenges are you anticipating down the road? And then how do you put a plan together to attack those challenges?
I know, like, it's only been like the third week of school so far, so I really haven't faced a lot of challenges. I really ran into the thing that just really got to me doing my long-term sub, and that was time. Time was my worst enemy. I found myself not being able to pace myself how I wanted to be. I felt rushed trying to get everything that I wanted to get done, and it took me about a good month, I would say, that I learned to pace myself and to learn how to time myself so I wouldn't feel so rushed. I used to go home and I used to set a timer and I used to teach everything that I wanted to teach that day so I could learn how to time myself and to pace myself. I struggled a lot with time and pace, and it took me a minute, and I felt as if like I would never get this, but I kept going. And like my support system again here at this school, like they supported through everything. Like, Miss White, take a moment, take a moment, breathe, like you got this, you can do this. And so that's one of the most challenging things I've ever faced was time.
See, I'm glad you shared that, because there are a lot of people that in education or in any other profession, they think time, I've got to learn how to manage my time, and that's something on the surface that everybody laughs about, but then deep down inside there's an insecurity of how to manage that. And so having that time last semester, it seems like it paid off now to where starting the year off, even though you had a curveball thrown your way, you still kind of understand how to manage that time.
And I've gotten so much better. Last week was our full week of like things we talked about, place values, and I was so proud of myself because I got through all of my lessons. I didn't feel rushed or as if I was talking too fast. We even had time to play Blookie at the end of one of my lessons, and so that's the thing that I struggle with the most. And I know there are going to be so many challenges now, especially since I'm in my own classroom, and I feel like I'm ready to face those challenges. This school has prepared me very, very well to be able to face anything that comes my way. So I think I'm ready to face those challenges.
What has surprised you? Like what even positive and negative? What surprises have come your way?
Oh gosh, I found myself that in a good way that I'm really good with parents. And that surprises me because I can come off as kind of shy and not say as much, but I work really well with parents. And if you can ask any first year teacher or any student right now that's in college, what's the worst thing or what's your fear about going into teaching? The number one thing would be parents. Because it's kind of hard to work with some parents, and you just have to find that balance of like, I understand I'm a parent as well. I have a 4-year-old, so I understand your side, your point of view, and I have found that balance in a good way of working with parents, talking to parents.
That partnership kind of together.
Partnership, that surprised me because that's the thing I feared the most coming into teaching and being an educator. So it's definitely learning myself with parents and So it surprised me.
So fast forward, we're no longer in the 11th day of school.
Yeah.
Fast forward, we hit day 180. It's the very last day in May 2025. You look back on this year. How do you define a successful first year as a first year teacher?
Right. Again, there's going to be so many challenges. For myself, I want to be able to face all of those challenges head on. I want to be able to say that every day that I came into this classroom, when I stepped foot in this door, that I gave 110% to all of my students. Even on my worst days, I don't even want them to know that Miss White is having the worst day. I want to be able to smile. You will see me smile 99.9% of the time. I'm smiling. So I want them to be able to say, Miss White did that for me. Miss White taught me this. And not only anything that academically, mentally, physically, I want them to be able to say, even though someone looks different from me, have different beliefs from me, do things differently than me, I still have to be kind. I still have to treat them like a person because they are. Because these kids are with us almost all day. And so teaching them other things that's going to help them in a real world, I want them to be able to say, Miss White did that for me. And I'm pretty sure that it's probably starting in 3rd grade, 2nd grade, 1st grade, whatever. But I want them to be able to say, Miss White was there. Miss White supported me. Miss White cared for me. I feel like that makes a successful teacher because that's what it's all about. I can sit and teach so many lessons, but that student is going to remember Miss White was there for me through it all. And of course, I want to see all of my kids grow, even if it's 1 point, 2 point. I want them to be able to grow. It's going to be a challenge for sure. But again, I want to be able to say I faced all of my challenges. I didn't fall on my face. I stayed above the water. I didn't sink at all. So that's a successful year for me. And again, I'm so happy to be at Eastside. And so I feel like I have that support system that's going to help me thrive and be the best. And then in a couple of years, I want my child to be in Miss White class because Miss White is just awesome and she's everything. And so, and my students going to be prepared for 5th grade. So that's another thing I want to see happen at the end of 2025 in May.